Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. It's Wednesday. It's January 28th. It's a little bit later in the evening. I'm a little later getting in to do this. I'm a little pressed for time tonight too, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about much other than just going through the trades real quick. First thing I want to say is this was your first leg down, and once you got your second leg moving and you knew you were moving lower, you were looking for a measured move down to around 2,000. You see, we went a little further than that. Um, Maybe 9 or 10 points further or lower than that. So, and you would have also looked for a measured move from there to there as well. And you see, we actually pushed it a little bit lower than that too. That's what will happen. You'll reach your measured move, and sometimes then they'll push it a little lower and trap people, and then reverse it. And then on the way up, you got a measured move right to there, and then we started up again right there, and that's a perfect measured move. So, and you might have also, there's a couple other ones over here. You might have measured that one and then look for one here. And you see we didn't get it. We came close, but we couldn't because the lower channel, uh, trend channel line is there. Notice how we pushed through right there? They were gunning for that target. And then on top of that, you would measure those two and look for that for a target. You can see we actually tried to bounce right there and went further down. So always remember those targets. I like to show those and point those out. Um, Early on, it looked like a two-tiered trading range across here, and but we broke lower and went lower. I was not totally surprised because this was a pretty good move down, and we couldn't get, but we got stuck in there. I was a little surprised that um, I figured we would test this low because we had a two-tiered channel, so it didn't surprise me that we made a new low here. It did surprise me that we continued on so bearishly like that. So that caught me a little off guard this morning. I wasn't, but that's why you can't trade what you think. There's nothing wrong with as you get experience, you'll start to be able to have a good feel for what's probably going to happen. But don't trade on that alone. Wait till you get the setup. So I hope that makes sense. But don't when you start to think that you're smarter than the market, it will humble you very, very quickly. So, but let's talk about the trades. When I came in, prices were trending up here. Where was the 7 o'clock hour? We were trending up into this highs here. Um, it was tempting to go short right there, but I think you had to wait on a pullback. That's a big bar. Um, but look at all that overlap. There's a good chance it's going to snap back, and it did. So I think you had to wait there, and you just had to wait. And so you got a second entry short right here for the most part. Um, and it's right off that trend line. Really, I guess that's the first entry there. The second entry didn't come till here. Let me move this out of the way. Um, I liked waiting here. You actually could have gone short right there because there's two legs up. Even though you don't get a break there's a smaller pattern there that would be two legs up. And that confirms this trend line off these first two swings. So you could have gone short there if you wanted to be a little aggressive. I think it was better to wait for here. And then I didn't like it because of the doji. But when that turned real bearish, I liked that trade. And it just dropped on down then. So you really could have entered that either way. I'm going to go ahead and mark the first one green. It's a little more aggressive, but there's some reasons to take it. It confirms the trend line. I talked myself out of it for the reasons we just talked about, but no problem with it because you get it another chance right there, and you get a nice 4 or 5 point move right out of the gate, right at the open. Um, and then you get a two-legged back. First entry, pull back, second entry, a double top right off the trend line, second entry. I like that one. Quick, easy move. And then it pulls back again. And this one you get the break of the two-tiered channel here. But watch this one. Pull back, first entry, pull back, second entry right there. Big bearish bar, it turned higher and turned down. Just go short right there. And if you didn't enter on that one, I'd be a little hesitant to enter on this one. because now you got all that congestion there. Um, so I don't think I would have entered there. There's actually another one right there that I didn't circle. I actually was trying to circle that whole thing, but let's go ahead and put it on there so it's real clear. Now, that's a failed second entry long, and so I like that one. And you got just enough to scalp out of that one. And then it pulls back and it gives you another, it's supposed to be just that bar right there. Look at that big bearish bar. It breaks higher turns, goes right out the other side. I liked it because it's just right off that range and you got a kind of a downward bias, and it pulls back and you get another bearish bar. And you're looking for prices to try to come back down here. And look at it go. And turn out to be another move. And then we just kind of got hung up there again. Just congestion right across there, but notice how it's below the other period, but you got support right in here, so you got to be careful of that. So you just about had to wait on a breakout pullback short, but you got this trend line now, and you did get a very bearish bar right off of that, but again, it was similar to the one up here with all the overlap. I think you were better off to wait. It looks like it would have worked if you'd have gone short there. And that is a bearish bar, but it's, you got all that. Look at all those overlapping bars. So I think you're better to wait on see if you get a breakout pullback and then it shoots down, pulls back, and then turns down. So I like that one better. This one you probably could make it green. Let's just go ahead and do that. But it looked a lot like a repeat pattern, and I skipped it the first time. Or was it right in here? And thinking it would come back, and it did. And then and look at this move, and any runners were safe here. And of course, notice how you're overshooting this each time. That's a good indication that this is not your trend channel line. This is going to be a midline, and just get an equal distance over and ride this thing down until it touches this low. And there's even a shorter term trend channel right there. I'll go ahead and put it on there. Somebody commented today that, hey, they've been drawing these and they really helped them, keeping them on the right side. But look at the break, move to a new low, and then you get a little correction. And you draw your short term there, and you get a break. You actually went outside here, but you didn't really close. You really never got a close outside till here, and it tried to go higher, and the market's just too weak. I like that one just for a second entry right off the midline. The bottom's just falling out of it. It's a nice second entry. It's a little double top there too with a little failed break higher. And it may be that this is a little steeper. Still don't get the breakout. We actually trade out, but it never really closes outside of it. And then there's really a second entry off the high there. Counting off the high right there, but there's no breaks higher, and there's some dojis. So if you didn't enter here, I don't think I would have entered there with a low being right there. So I didn't mark that one. And then you get another pullback, and this is the first break of the new channel, and you're looking for that measured move down here, right in here. This is just a first entry. Again, there's a little overlap. That was a fairly bearish move up, or bullish move up through there. That turned out to be a great trade, but I don't see myself entering that trade. I was not trading by this time, but I wouldn't enter that trade. I'm not going to mark it, because if you look at it, if you don't see that bearish move, look at that. I mean, that's a nice bullish move up, and you got to be real careful. And you should be drawing we did get a little close probably outside it and a push up, but it's so close that you just don't know. But look at the bottom fall out of it. So, these are the ones that it's really hard to watch it go without you. But a good trader, that's what they do. They're patient and they don't break the rules, and they do miss some good trades every now and then, but they don't get trapped as often. And so keep that in mind. And now you got your break, a move to a new low, and you get another push lower, and it reverses. And there's not a good short setup here. You don't know that this is going to be a trap, but you don't want to go short below a doji. That's closed right in the middle. It's two legs up. Everything is kind of pushed on through the EMA. You've already had your break and moved to a new low, a couple of legs down. So you want a good setup here, or you've got to skip it. And so you skip this and you watch it turn, tick one tick lower and turn, and just that's a failed second entry. If it breaks back above that bar or the next bar or whatever without getting a scalper's profit, and it does, and just look how quick it shoots up because it traps everybody. And you get your first break here, but again, it's a first entry, and we did break the trend line right there. Um, but then we come back and we make a higher low. It's really kind of a double bottom there, but it's right off the EMA, and that bar is just so bullish. Um, that you figure you're gonna make another leg up, and I don't think it would have been hard to get in this right here because notice that it closed and then opened immediately on the next one and kept going. So I doubt you would have had time to get your stop in there, and it wouldn't have filled the limit order. So I don't know if you'd have caught that trade or not. I don't think you could enter anywhere else up through there because now you've got your break and two legs up, and those are pretty much measured legs. Um, There's leg one, and you can see leg two, pretty much measured. They're a tick or so off, and then you end up getting a third one. But and then you get that little trap, that little push. It's tempting to go short there, but wait on the next one, um, and look how it turns higher. Look at that bearish bar. Go short right there. That's your second entry short. Quick, easy move, and that I wouldn't take anything after that because that gets you into the lunch hour. And notice how nothing happens that last hour before. Um, Look, there's hardly any bars, anything that last hour there. And then there's your FOMC news. And if you wanted to trade it, the price action's still valid. And there's actually notice that new high pullback first entry, pullback. Look at that bullish bar. There's a failed second entry long that turns up, goes straight out the bottom. If you got time and you want to trade that stuff, but on FOMC days, I'm done before noon for sure, and I usually don't trade anymore. Now, I know there's people that like to trade the news and stuff, but I think you're smarter to stay away from it. It's kind of settled down here now. You get a bounce, first entry, pullback. There's a second entry short right there, and you could have entered this either way. Really, I should have them both circled because that's a big bullish bar. Let me just move this for now. It goes up, and I know a lot of people are going to get long right there that aren't paying attention, that like trading the news, and then it turns down. I like going short right there on that second entry. You had to kind of ride that out, and that might have shaken you out. But when it ticks higher and turns down again, if you weren't already in, you definitely want to get in. When it went out the high side and turned, it went out the low side, have a stop waiting right there. Because now you got a trap and a double, a second entry counting off the high as well as counting off the low. And that's one where if I was already in here, I'd strongly consider adding on there. And then you get the failed second entry long there, and it turns down again. So go short again, and you're looking for it to come down to this side, and that's where it goes. And remember that measured move from here? It was trying to get it. That's why it shoots on through here. It's working on that, but that trend channel line's too strong, and it eventually bounces. And then you just got to wait for it to get to the other side. And that a lot of times when you get the overshoot, that's your signal that you'll probably get one on the other side. And notice you did have a break and a move up here, so you're looking for something to get short. It was really tempting to go short right there, but look at that signal bar. It's not very good, and that's your clue. And you're not back here, although sometimes if you overshoot here, you'll undershoot. But since you didn't get a real good signal bar, just wait and let it see if it'll come back. See if you'll get some kind of trap or something better. And it comes back, and I didn't like taking the first entry, even though that's a nice setup right there. I think you're better off to wait on the second entry, and then you get a little double top, a second entry, and look at that bullish bar again, and it shoots out the top and traps everybody, turns and goes straight out and just goes short right there. And that was the last. That's actually right into the 2 o'clock hour. There's a failed second entry long right here, so If you really wanted to push it, you could take that trade right there too. And, that definitely gets you into the 2 o'clock hour there. So I didn't mark anything after that. But all this right in here is the news and the volatility, or just prior to the news and then into the volatility. So I think you want to just skip that part. But that's how I saw it today. And again, I'm not going to say much more about today. I need to get out of here, but you can see and there's probably a bigger pattern here that I don't even have marked. Um, I would guess. I would say that's probably it right there. But you couldn't, you never really even got these two swings until 1 o'clock. And, so that pattern doesn't help you very much, but it's there, it looks like. So that might have helped you looking for this move all the way to the low, though, but that's way into the close. The only way you'd still be in this, or should still be in this, is if uh, you've still got some runners that are going, because I wouldn't be taking any new trades into that late in the day. But yeah, I believe that to be it, and doesn't really help you a whole lot. Might have helped you with this one setup here, um, but that's during the news. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up, and we'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.